I was checking the hay last night and I think it's gonna bale today. One thing that I've noticed about baling this pasture grass consistently is that every time I check it, the bottom holds moisture, and I don't think it's dew. I think it's actually wicking moisture up out of the ground. So what that means is that I'm gonna have to rake it about an hour or two before I wanna bale it. This morning I'm going around getting hot wire set up while it's a little bit cooler so that everything is ready to go for this afternoon. But when I get done with this, we'll go after the baler, get everything hooked up and ready, and hopefully we can get this baled this evening. That's what's going on today on Farmer Tyler Ranch. How's this water looking? Oh, you know, it's not that bad. I can see clear to the bottom of the tank, but I don't think I've cleaned this one this year, so I guess today's a good day to do it. Well, that finishes draining. We'll get this other wire set up. It's supposed to be really hot today and tomorrow and kind of the next day too, so I want to make sure that they have access to shade. If you're a new viewer and you don't know what I'm referring to, if you look behind me, this is the paddock that the cattle are going into, and you can see there's no trees to be seen out here. There's no shade in this paddock. But by stringing up this hot wire in my little pasture, I can walk the cows through there. They can get up to the main corral where they will have shade. There's a wasp nest in the post there right next to where I need to hang the Energizer. If you guys have been with the channel for a while, you know that this has been here for a while and I've been meaning to spray it, but you know, when I don't have a hot wire strung up here, it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. So I just barely got the Energizer hanging on there. If the wind never picks up, I think it'll be all right like that. Ooh. 10 kilovolts, that's enough. The plan is to move the cows later this afternoon, so we're good here for now. Let's plug this water trough back up, get it refilling, and then we can start rounding up equipment. Sometimes I wonder if I could add up every hour, every minute of my life that I've spent moving equipment, what it would amount to. And I bet by the time I die, we're talking about years of my life spent doing this. Guys that get to farm on one place that's all connected, they don't know how good they have it. This thing's gonna go when it comes out. Ooh, that way. I don't know how well it'll show on camera, but this tongue jack is pretty severely bent. That's why the baler kind of jumps to the side like that when you unhook it, because the jack is like pushing it that way. One of the repairs that I would like to make to this thing this winter is to cut that jack off, straighten the tongue, and then weld it back on straight so that it actually works properly, because you can see the way it works now is a little scary. And that's why I put all those blocks under the tongue, because I don't trust that thing. Well, looks like I did not clean this up after the last time I used it. Shame on me. I guess while I'm here with the air compressor, I should just blow it out real quick. Even though we're not gonna run it for very long today, well, it'll be that much easier to clean up then. Well, I'm gonna say good enough for a baler that I'm gonna use in a couple hours. Has the air conditioner been working good in here, Callie? Oh yeah. Now I'm gonna run home and get the bale monitor and everything else hooked up to the LS so that it's ready to hook onto the baler, and by the time I get done doing all that, it should be about time to rake. So to hook the bale monitor up, we just got to get some power here from the battery and then get the wires all zip tied up out of harm's way. By far the funnest part of all of this is routing the wires and making sure that you've got them in a spot where they're not going to be in the way. The only real problem I've had in the past is, like, while making a sharp turn, I've had the lugs on the tire catch the wire and rip it off. A couple years ago that happened. So we want to make sure that doesn't happen again. I think I've got this pretty well dialed. Right here's where the wires come out from under the hood, and you can see they're not bound up or anything. I can actually move them, so that's good. Up here in the cab on the other end of that wire, we'll get the monitor mounted up to this door handle, and then that should be pretty much it for now. I'll run the wires from the baler through the little access hole in the back window when we get over there, and we can hook everything up, and knock on wood, it should work. When the baler's hooked up, it's going to hook onto the lower part of the drawbar here, which means the tongue of the baler and that pin are going to be sticking down. So I'm not sure if I've got any hay over there that's heavy enough for this to matter, but if the windrow, I should say, was tall enough, the pin and the tongue on the baler would catch it and it would start balling up right here under the drawbar of the tractor. So that's the purpose of this rubber thing here. When you get in some heavy hay, it just folds up and allows everything to slide right over the top. I'm sure there's a company out there somewhere that would love to sell you one of these, but they're pretty easy to make, and I made this out of some regular old elevator belting, and you can too. It's a little past 1 o'clock right now, which means it's probably about time to get out there with the rake and flip that hay one final time. I know some people watching were probably worried that they weren't going to get to see me rake any hay in this video, but don't worry, you will. So right there in the middle of the windrow, I mean, this hay's cured, but it's still soft and cool and sort of damp feeling, I guess is what I should say. So the idea is to flip it and get back here and bale it at the perfect time, meaning the time when the top has enough time to dry, but the bottom has not yet had enough time to pull moisture up. All done raking. We'll let the sun do its thing. We'll go grab the LS, get it hooked up to the baler. By the time I do all that, we should be ready to go. 11, 13, 13. Well, two things are immediately obvious. The first one is this baler likes this type of hay much better than the three-way hay as far as getting a bale started. I don't really have to watch it that closely like I do with the other type of hay. It just eats this stuff right up. And the other thing is that my yield is not going to be what I was hoping. I was hoping for around 10 bales. It's looking like I'm getting about 1 bale per pass, so 6 bales is the new expectation, if we can even get that. But you know, that's 6 bales I didn't have yesterday. All of my cameras overheated out in the field, but I am done now. I just checked my phone and it says that it's 103 outside, and it feels like it. I ran the baler back home, but I'm back out in the field. As you can see, I need to pick up all of these bales because I'm starting the water out here tonight. And I bet some people are wondering, like I was, how many bales I was going to get off of this. I've said it before, I'm pretty sure that this is about 2 acres, and I ended up getting a total of 8 4x4 round bales, which means I got 4 round bales per acre, which means I got roughly 1 ton per acre. Now for forage hay, that would be terrible. Usually you want to get between like 3 and 5 tons per acre, but for pasture grass, I'm okay with it. It's not the 10 bales that I was hoping to get, but it was actually pretty close. Well, there you have it, a nice and clean 2 acres out here in the pasture, and we got 8 bales to show for it. Was it worth all the trouble? Well, I'd do it again, so I guess it was. I'm just gonna leave the bales right here tonight. They'll be out of the way. They won't get any irrigation water on them right here, but I wanna wait until I move the cows down to the back to move them through the big corral, just because I have a feeling that if I try to carry hay through there, and you know, I'm opening gates and closing gates, trying to get through without cattle getting out. It just seems like I'm asking for trouble. I was actually planning to move the cows this afternoon or this evening, but it's just so hot today. Like I said, it's 103 and it's supposed to stay up there here for the next several hours. So I'm not gonna ask the cows to move right now. I think they're pretty happy in the shade. That's where they wanna stay. Over the last year, I feel like I've really put the LS MT7-101 through its paces. I've tested its power, its lifting ability, and all kinds of different things. But I feel like today is the day that I really tested the air conditioner, and it's been a lifesaver. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, and I hope I'll see you again on Farmer Tyler Ranch.